Hi everyone, it's Barry here from Mitosu Crafts. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for joining me for this week's Fun Fold Friday video tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can make a trifold card. Now it's a remake of a card which Jay did a few weeks ago, so I'll pop the link to that video down below in the description, or it may even pop along somewhere at the top up here. I'm not sure where it's going to go yet, but I will pop a link in there for you so you can go back and have a little look at how he created his card. But I'm just going to recreate it again for you, simplify the measurements and what you need to be able to create this as well for yourself. So that's the aim of today's Fun Fold Friday video tutorial. I will be using a variety of Stampin' Up products as well, so you can purchase all of your stuff from us via our online shop. So I will pop the details on the screen right now. So just head over to mitosukcrafts.com/shop, and that is where you can order your Stampin' Up craft supplies from us. So if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Netherlands, Austria, Belgium and Ireland, you can shop with us. So just head over to that website which is on the screen right now, and you'll be able to purchase anything you see us using, or anything Stampin' Up related. You can browse as well on that site. So do check that one out if you wish. But I'm going to crack on with today's demonstration, so I hope you enjoy what I've got in store for you. But for the meantime, sit back, relax and enjoy. Okay, so this was the card which Jay did a few weeks ago. And this is a lovely trifold card which we also turned into a gift card. So I'm going to show you how you can make this one again, but I'm going to do it slightly different decorations. I'm going to simplify the decoration for you a little bit here as well. But if you do want to go, as I just mentioned just a minute ago, if you do want to go ahead and see how this particular one was created, the link will pop up either on the screen or it will be down below for you as well. I will be working in inches for this particular project, but I will convert them over into centimetres for you as well, and they will also pop up on the screen somewhere just around about down here. So they just come up as a little bit of text around about here as I mentioned them throughout the video, so you'll be able to pause and write down those measurements as and when I do them, and make it a little bit easier for you hopefully as well. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to crack on now and I will tell you the stuff which I'm going to be using. So the cardstock which I've decided to use today for this one is going to be Petunia Pops. So I'm going to be using this lovely colour. Debate, is it pink, is it purple? Let us know in the comments. But I'm going to be using Petunia Pop is the cardstock I'm going to be using as my base. I'm going to also pair that with this Designer Series paper. So this here is the Unbounded Beauty Designer Series paper. I'm going to be pairing it with these two designs right here, actually, are the two which I've chosen for this project. So they kind of coordinate very well with the Petunia Pop cardstock, which is hence why I've used those. So that's that, but you've got a lovely set of paper in here as well. So that's the ones which I've used, and you've got some lovely, this is a favourite of mine as well. I just love the greens which we've got going on here. Now this is either Summer Splash or Shy Shamrock. It's got a bit of the two in there, I would say. So that's the greens which we've got, and we've got these lovely bright colours for the Petunia Pop as well. We've got the greens going on. We have also got the pinks and Pretty in Pink, and obviously then we've got the back sides of these. So we've got some really pretty patterns going on this one here. So yes, check that one out, and that there is the Unbounded Beauty Designer Series paper. That is product number 163372. As for the stamp sets which I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using the Labelled with Love again, and I'm going to be using either the Just For You or the Thanks Friend sentiment, and I'm also going to be using the butterfly. Now this, if you watched last week's Fun Fold Friday, I showed you how to colour this butterfly using the Dauber technique, and I've got a couple of them left over, so I'm going to be reusing one of the butterflies which I did for last week's Fun Fold Friday. So if you want to see the technique of how I did that, then go and check out last week's one. And so that's that with one of the sentiments. But I'm also going to be using the dies from the Happy Little Things stamp set. So I'm kind of mixing and matching my dies with bundles here at the moment, but it just works out quite well. So that's what I'm going to be using for the stamp sets and dies. And for the decoration, I'm going to have the lovely Fully Flowering Ephemera pack, or ephemera pack, however you want to say it. and you've got these. So these are all pre-printed and ready to punch out or pop out elements, and that's what I'm going to be using for my decoration of today's card. So I've got a few things. I've got stamp sets, dies, and I've got the ephemera packs. So that's what I'm going to be using. So yes, that's the fully flowering ephemera pack which you've got there. As for cardstock, you will need yourself your card base. So this here is measuring 5.5 inches by 11 inches. I've also got myself another piece here which is measuring 2 3/4 inch by 5.5 inches. So you should be able to get this out of one piece of cardstock, because this part here is the offcut for which I would have cut down from this one. So you should be able to get this out of one piece of paper, but that's what you need. So 5.5 by 11 and 2 3/4 by 5.5 is what you'll need for your cardstock. For your designer series paper, what you would need one piece here measuring 1.5 inches by 5.5 inches. You need one piece here measuring 2.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and another piece here measuring 3 3/4 inch by 5.5. And you may want to put yourself out of something for the sentiment to stick on, and this here is 2.5 by 2.5. So that's everything that you need to create this project. What I'm going to do now is I'll go through the scoring, and then we're going to go through the decoration with you. So for the scoring, what we're going to do is going to take the small piece here first, and we're going to just literally want to pop this in, and we're going to want to score this on the long edge at 2 3/4 inch. So we basically want to separate this into 2 equal squares. Then what we want to do is we want to take the the larger piece here, and want to score it along the long edge as well, and we want to do this at 1.5 inches, 4 1/4 inches, and 7 inches. And that there is all your scoring done for this one here. So I'll just go through that one again. So the smaller piece, just measure this and score it at 2 3/4 inch. And then on the larger piece, you want to do this at 1.5 inches. You then want to do that at 4 1/4 inches, and then at 7 inches. And that will give you your score lines for this. Okay, so we will do ourselves some folding and burnishing on this. So I'm going to then fold this one in on itself. We fold this one back, and then we fold this one over like that. So we created, this is where the name of trifold comes from, and it's that basically. So this is, as Jay mentioned in his previous video, this is a case from the catalogue as well. So this is one of the fun folds which they they show as an example in the catalogue. But we're going to just turn it into now a gift card, because obviously it wants to, we want to just make it a little bit more special for you. So what you can do, if you want to just leave it as it is now, you can go ahead and you can stick these designer series papers down onto this. This one's going to go on like that. This one will go on like that. And that one there will go on like this. So again, depending on where you want to pop your slit for your gift card, will depend whether or not you want to do it on the front here and stick the designer series paper down first, or whether or not you want to hide the gift card and it goes at the back here, and we don't necessarily need to worry about it. But so I'm going to do it on the back here, so I'm going to go ahead and stick my designer series paper down first. So there we have it. That there is the fun fold in its simplest form. So if you wanted to leave it as it is, you can do, and the card will go either or, depending on how you want to give it. Naturally, you want to go this way here. Okay, so that there is in its simplest form. So you can go ahead and you can go and decorate this if you wish with a sentiment on here. Pop something on, job's done. But we're just going to take this one step further. So I've got this one right here, so I'm just going to fold and burnish this one, and just going to stick my white panel on this just so it's nice and stuck. So just pop this piece to one side for the moment. We will stick this one on in a moment. But what we are going to do now is do the slit for the sentiment. So we're going to bring in our trimmer again, and what we're going to want to do is pop this in the trimmer so that the short edge is along the top here, and you just want to line this up at 2 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and then we're going to bring our blade down and we're going to cut between these two score lines here, but not all the way to the edge of the score line. So we're just going to bring the trimmer in, the blade at 2 3/4, and we're just going to cut and cut, and we're going to stop a couple of millimeters, probably about 3 or 4 millimeters away from the edge, or an 1/8 of an inch, like that. Okay, so we've just literally gone and cut like that. So in your trimmer again, that was at 2 3/4 of an inch. Move it over about 1/16 of an inch, or about 2 millimeters, not much at all. And then we're going to do exactly the same, and we're going to cut roughly about the same equal distance. Okay, and then what you've gone and done there is you've created this little pop out, this little thing. So we'll just grab ourselves our scissors, and then we just need to then manually snip that off. Okay, so you can see what we've done there. We just created ourselves a channel here, and this then will then fit perfectly a gift card. Okay, so when we come to stick this down now, that then is the gift card is then going to then be hidden behind. Okay, but we also need to stick these two panels together here. But what we need to make sure is what you do is we don't stick the bottom part too much, because otherwise you won't be able to slide your gift card in. So what we're going to do is a little bit of a reference for you. Just make sure you know what way round you want it, and then just pop a cross or some kind of mark that you know that there is the area. You're going to want to cover all of that area, stick all of that area down, and then this area down here you're going to just want to pop some glue down the bottom along the edge, like so. Okay, so you're going to stick these two together completely, and then just do like a little channel down the bottom like this, and then stick that together, and then that will then create the gap which you can then stick your gift card in. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down now. So you can see the gluing area which I've gone and done there, and then you can then stick this to each other, and then just let that set itself up and stick before you do anything else. So that's that part. And then what we can do now is that this will sit inside like so. Okay, so that's basically what we want to do with that one. So it's still a card, it will still stand up, okay, like that. But what we want to do now is we want to pop something in for our sentiment, because you can either just do a belly band for this and do that, but for those of you that watch our channel and know me, I'm not a fond lover of belly bands, because I think that a lot of time and effort goes into a belly band of a card, and then to display it, it has to then be taken off and popped to one side, and it doesn't really, that's where a lot of the work gets done. So, which is why I'm not always a fond lover of doing them. I love it, don't get me wrong, receiving them, I appreciate it, I love it, so it's not an issue. But for making them, it's just something I just don't agree with. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this little sentiment banner on here. So in a way we kind of want to position this centrally like this, and we're going to pop some glue on the back side here, and that's going to end up going on that one. So I would suggest an easy way is just position that centrally on this. Before it completely dries, just give it a bit of a check to make sure you're happy with positioning, because remember with wet glue you do have a little bit of wiggle room if need be, which is why I always recommend Tombow glue for your crafting projects. And that's gone in, so it's kind of opening the wrong way to how you would want to open up a card. Okay, so because that's going to act and go over like that. I'm just going to bring it over a fraction. So I've decided I'm a little bit more closer to the right hand side than I am the left hand side here. Just a fraction. Okay, so that's that. So then all we need to do now is our decoration on this. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be using that ephemera pack, and the pieces I have decided to use are these flowers right here. So you just literally just grab these. So you get 2 of each of these sheets in here. So you just literally just pop them out. It just literally, they're already cut for you. You just need to pop them out. And then we can then go ahead and then stick these on. So this is why I've got this white layer behind us, so it gives us a little bit of, it just kind of frames it a little bit there as well. And we're going to take these, some leaves, and we're just going to just create that like so. So I'm just going to stick those and those together. And then that can then get stuck onto our topper with some dimensionals. And then we are going to bring in our butterfly. Now, this was the butterfly I stamped and coloured last week. So this was just a butterfly which was from the Labelled with Love. So you get an outline and you get an infill stamp set. And all I've done is I've just used the daubers, and I've put myself on some yellow as a base, and then I've gone round and then I popped the red as the outline, then stamped it down, and then that's what's given this lovely ombre effect for this butterfly. So I did already have one which was fussy cut out, and that's that one right there. And I figured that looked beautiful just sat on this butterfly, on this flower like that. And then I've got myself my sentiment. So with my sentiment, what I've got is the Just For You from the Labelled with Love. Do this and stamp this onto some basic white. I pushed a little bit too hard on that one there, and it felt like it was a little bit too spread out. So I just a little bit less pressure, and I think I've given myself a slightly better, I've given myself better stamped impression. So if you're not happy with it, it's just cardstock, so you just do it again. And like so. Now I'm going to use the dies from the Happy Little Things right here. And I've got these lovely banner dies which will go over like this. Now you don't need to, it's easy enough to cut this one out as a straight, so just get yourself a big, pop it, stamp it along the edge, and then you've only got 2 edges to cut out if you haven't got any die cutting machines. But I'm going to use the dies as I've got them here. And there we have it. We have the Just For You sentiment right there. I just used a little bit of tape just to tape the end just so it didn't move whilst I did it. And there we have a perfect die cut as well. But you can quite easily do this if you can cut straight lines with a trimmer, and just using some snips, you can, you can fishtail quite easily as well. So we are just going to now stick this on the front of the card like that, and then decide where I'm going to want to pop my butterfly. So I'm going to stick that onto some dimensionals again. And there we have it. We have today's Fun Fold Friday with the trifold card with a slight addition of this sentiment area here, and the ability to pop in a gift card in the middle and write your sentiments underneath here if you wish. Okay, so that there is today's card. There we go. So as I just said, hope you've enjoyed today's project. I'm actually really quite happy with how that's coming out and the colour combination which we've used on that. And that ephemera pack just makes the card even simpler. So if you're looking for a quick, simple card, it's a very easy fun fold with just a couple of score lines in there. Using the packs which you've already got for your decoration, you can create yourself some stunning and easy fun fold cards as well. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed what I've created for you there today. But we will be back with you again next Friday for another Fun Fold Friday, and on Sundays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for our regular lives. So if you want to come along and chat to us live, then please do on a Wednesday and Sunday. But we'll be back with another recorded video again for you next Friday for Fun Fold Friday. But in the meantime, have a great week, and we will see you again very soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye.